Coming up on today's Cowboys Report, looking at 5 Cowboys players, 5 so you can actually see, who I think should play more in NFL Week 2 against the Giants. Will they? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, but I think these are 5 names that should absolutely be considered. Now, we are in a like battle this week against Giants now. As of Thursday evening, we have a narrow lead over Giants now. Let's change that. Let's blow them out of the water. I think we can double the lead right now. Free, simple, easy to do. Like the video for me right now. First player who I would like to see play more against the Giants, how about Jaydon Blue? Javonte Williams, I thought, did a solid job in week 1. It wasn't a bunch of big plays, did punch it in twice. The average was brought down by some short yardage stuff, but the success rate was super high. Miles Sanders had a big run and then a bad fumble and got caught from behind. And I understand the Cowboys' desire of like, hey, you have to do all the things right to get on the field in practice. I get that. I agree. You also do things right in games. And fumbling, getting caught from behind is kind of a bad thing. Now, Jaydon Blue's got his own fumbling history, but he ain't getting caught from behind if he hits the same hole Miles Sanders did. And maybe the game is completely different if he doesn't fumble or if he hits the hole and scores. One big run from Miles Sanders doesn't really change the fact that, a short yardage run and then a fumble and another short run. Jaydon Blue brings me what I don't have in the backfield right now. It's explosiveness, big playability, speed. Javonte's not crazy fast. Miles Sanders, respectfully, looked straight up slow. So at a certain point, I get that you want to have the guys who are practicing, being consistent, whatever, right? Also play your best guys. Because, you know what's worse than inconsistency in practice, and that's why they don't play, because they're afraid of this happening, but inconsistency in games. Not sure what's worse than a fumble and getting caught from behind on what should have been a touchdown run. Here's what Brian Schottenheimer said earlier this week on Jaydon Blue. Young players hits at different times. I'll talk about Jaydon. Extremely talented, but there's a way you have to perform, especially with the mantra of compete every day. I think that they scratched Jaydon Blue because they didn't love what they saw throughout the week of practice. Okay, it's on Jaydon Blue to be more consistent at practice. And I get you don't want to reward a player, but Schotty also said, depending on what else happens, maybe they have an average week, they still got to go. That's Jaydon Blue right now. He needs to be out there. Otherwise, I need the explosive plays from him. So what do you think? Will Jaydon Blue play against the Giants? Y for yes, N for no. Let me know in the comment section of today's show. All right, Marist Liufau is next up here. That is the linebacker. And this one, the Cowboys are specifically hinting at, hey, maybe he will get more playing time. Schottenheimer's alluded to it. Matt Eberflus has as well. Great. I want to see it before I say it's done deal and it's happened, right? The linebacker snap counts in week 1 with a pretty heavy dose of base personnel, actually, from against the Eagles from Matt Eberflus. 62 for Kenneth Murray. Jack Sanborn had 47. Damone Clark had 41. Marist Liufau had 6. The biggest issue here, it's just PFF grades, but I think it matches up at least somewhat well with the eye test. The grades were an inverse of the snaps. It's not a good thing. Now, PFF has never liked Kenneth Murray, so maybe it's a little bit of a harsh grade. But he got lost in the sauce sometimes. Damone Clark was more athletic, but I didn't love him chasing down Hurts. Liufau, you feel his presence on the field more. That's the way I view it. Oh, he's in the game. I noticed he was in the game right away, right? And not even just trying to count out who's out there. You just notice him. He brings you more energy out there on the field as well. And Kenneth Murray's a better athlete, sure, but if the instincts are failing you, that doesn't do anything. So I hope that Liufau gets a chance. I kind of feel like we're making the same mistakes, different players as last year. Remember last year when this Cowboys coaching staff was like, hey, we're not going to play DeMarvion Overshown more in week 2 against the Rams. We went, oh, we messed that up. Yeah, you did. Don't make the same mistake with Liufau. I think you miss Overshown, obviously, but I do think Liufau kind of needs to be out there. Today's show is made possible by Ethos, the father of one kid and a second one on the way. Due any day. Trust me when I say life insurance matters. It's not fun to think about what would happen if something happened to you, but you do need to be prepared. Protect your family with life insurance from Ethos. Get your free quote at ethos.com/NFL daily. That's ethos.com/NFL daily. Ethos is a trustworthy company and disrupts the traditional life insurance industry, and it's more affordable than you might think. Ethos is an online platform that makes life insurance fast and easy to protect your family's future in minutes, not months. There is no complicated process, and it's 100% online. No medical exam is required. You just answer a few health questions and get a quote in as little as 10 minutes. 3 million families have completed their applications and trusted Ethos to help find the right coverage for them. Protect your family with life insurance from Ethos. Get that free quote at ethos.com/NFL daily. That's ethos.com/NFL daily. Links in the comments section and the description of today's show. Appreciate Ethos sponsoring us here on the Cowboys Report. Now, I picked my 5 names not long after week 1 wrapped up. Trevon Diggs was always going to be on there. Now he's doubly on there because of the DaRon Bland uncertainty. Diggs played 26 snaps in week 1. The Cowboys with another pitch count. I have no complaints about that. That makes sense. Coming off the injury, keep him out there, not in base personnel. It's fine. No issues. Well, now you have to. With DaRon Bland hurt, I don't think you can do the pitch count stuff. As long as Diggs is feeling good, I think you have to put him out there. You're not going to play him at nickel, obviously, but when you're in base packages, who do you want out there? Trevon Diggs or Triquez Bridges? Come on. You're playing Diggs. Stewart is a nickel. Childress is a nickel. You're going to have to play Diggs on the outside. Not the entire game. Like, he and Elam are going to have to be out there. It's fine. It's not a bad thing. But, because I thought actually they did a pretty good job in his very few run support / tackling support efforts, but he's got to go. It's time. There's really no other options. What is your confidence level in the Cowboys cornerback room amid all the injuries? I got all the different asterisks and everything else in there. It's kind of crazy. 1 to 10 is your scale. KaVontae Turpin, the wide receiver, is next up here. Now, he played a decent amount. This kind of is a bit more usage derived than anything else. The snaps were actually 1 in favor of Jalen Tolbert. Tolbert had the big-time whiff on a block, although I still have a tough time. Might have just been designed to go in the slant, and he just kind of got caught between blocking and running the route like he was supposed to. It wasn't a design. Anyway, I digress. He missed. That's what matters. 1 catch, 0 yards, whatever. Turpin got 4 touches in total. You could maybe go 5 or 6. The issue with Turpin, who I think, with what the Giants are doing, I think you could justify not having to limit Lamb to the slot as much as I kind of wanted to limit him against the Eagles with the advantages there. Giants don't have a receiving quarterback that can cover Lamb. You can put Turpin out there more. I think the opposing defense's issues allow you to do a little bit more of that. The issue with Turpin is I don't know if he's a true every down wide receiver. I like how they used him with a lot of pre-snap motion. Keep doing that. He's someone you still have to a little bit scheme for stuff, and I would rather scheme stuff for Lamb than I would for Turpin. So you do kind of limit the personnel usage, but I think 5 to 6 touches a game is actually probably pretty solid for KaVontae Turpin. We will have more Cowboys coverage for you each and every single day right here on the channel. Do not miss out. Hit that sub button right now. Last name here, how about Marshawn Kneeland? And the Cowboys kind of did make this change mid-game. They kind of went, okay, Kneeland to go play more against the run in particular. The defensive end snap counts from this past week's matchups. Sam Williams, had 9. Marshawn Kneeland, 29. Dante Fowler, 27. Ezraku, 22. James Houston, who I almost put on this list, played a little bit. I think he does offer you some good as a pass rusher, but I wanted to focus on the run defense side. It's sorted by snap counts and against the run, which is 25, 19, 18, 9, 2. Sam Williams, 56.7 grade. Dante Fowler, 44.6. Overran stuff sometimes. I don't love Sam Williams or Dante Fowler against the run. Ezraku and Houston are kind of undersized. I kind of want to make Marshawn Kneeland my top run-setting defensive end. I'm a bit worried about that spot overall. I thought he did a good job. He was the one who kept his rush gap sound. He was not out there cutting in, jumping around, giving the cutback lane for Hurts or whatever. I thought he pushed the pocket well, was a good run support player, had the sack. I I kind of would almost lean Kneeland as my top defensive end snap count getter, at least on early downs. I think his run defense is a bit better than the other guys that the Cowboys can play out there. Give some honorable mentions here in a second. But who do you think needs to play more for the Dallas Cowboys? Let me know in the comments section of today's show. All right, a couple names here. Brevin Spann-Ford, the tight end, I thought did a good job blocking, but I thought all the tight ends did a pretty good job blocking. Even Jake Ferguson had a really good block in a run play, which hasn't always been his strength. So I'm okay not doing him. Mentioned Houston previously. Hunter Lipke, the fullback, like, You paid him. Special teams numbers, it's fine. The contract is not an issue at all. But, 8 snaps is kind of low. Could you try to get him a bit more involved in some tight end, H-back, fullback? So I think it's at least worth having that conversation about.